Welcome back to the Grim Workshop. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Lockpick Hook card. So the Lockpick Hook card is the latest card in their sere series. So that is survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. So this definitely has more of an urban theme to it. So like all of the Grim cards, this is stainless steel, and this will slide right into the credit card slot of your wallet. This will also fit in a personal survival tent. So the back side of this is permanently adhesive, and you can peel this white backer off and just stick this to something and it's always going to be there. And the tools all come out and they're all going to be 100% usable, and they're also reusable, so you can just attach it back to the non-adhesive, non-magnetic tool retention system, give it a press, put it back in your kit, and it's going to be there when you need it. The Lockpick Hook card is going to work great as a standalone tool, but you can put it in a really small tin like this and carry all of the new sere tools at once. So let me pull the Lockpick Hook card out of here and I'll show you some of the features. We have 6 different types of lockpicks as well as 2 different styles of tension wrenches. So here you can see the different styles of lockpicks that are included in this kit, and these all work exactly the same way. So this is actually picking a lock here. You're not raking, you're not bypassing. With all of these styles, you're going to address each pin of the lock individually. And the reason there are so many different styles is just because of all the different types of locks out there. You have to be able to address one pin without bumping the other pins. So the good thing about a set of hooks like this is you're going to be able to single pin pick nearly every style of lock that's out there. With a lot of the rakes, that's not always the case. The rake is going to be a much faster way to access a lock, but a single pin pick like this, it requires a little bit more skill, but it is usable in a lot more cases. So I'm going to go over all these tools, including how to single pin pick a lock, in a separate sere series of videos. So those lock picks are really nice, but you're not going to be able to pick a lock without a tension wrench. So what the tension wrench does is you apply a little bit of rotation to the lock, and you're going to feel as the pin binds. You're going to locate the binding pin, you're going to set the binding pin, and you're going to move to the next one. So for a tension wrench, it's got to fit the keyway pretty snug, enough to be able to rotate the lock, but it can't be too big. If it takes up too much of the space, then you're not able to get your tools in there and set the pins. So I've got a pretty standard style tension wrench here, and this is a stepped style. So this is going to give me a couple different variations for size, but with this smallest one, I'm going to be able to address the top of the keyway. So most tension wrenches, you're just going to go into the bottom and then you're working above the tension wrench to the pins. When you go top of the keyway, you've got the whole bottom of the lock to get tools in there and set the pins. All locks are going to be different. That's why you've got multiple types of tension wrenches. And on this plastic training lock, when I go bottom of the keyway, you see how much slop there is in that. I can actually double up my tension wrenches and we see how much better that angle is. So in this case, with this lock, stacking these tension wrenches works a lot better for me. I like this to be a lot closer to 6 o'clock. Now I've just got one of my single pin hooks here, and I'm just feeling, it's kind of difficult for you to see. When I go over a single pin picking in the series, I'll have this supported so you can see what I'm doing. But I'm just going through, feeling each pin, feeling for the binding pin, and setting it. And here we go. Now, these plastic locks are pretty darn easy to pick, but it's the same principle, and once you get used to it, some of the more common locks that are available are not a whole lot harder than this. So this entire card focuses on just one thing. That's going to be single pin picking a lock. Now you might be able to use some of these diamonds on the bottom and scrub a lock a little bit and kind of mimic a rake in some ways. But primarily, if you've got this card out, you're going to be trying to single pin pick. And that does require skill, but it's not that hard that you can't learn it. And once you've mastered that skill, that just opens up that many more locks that you're able to get into. So 6 pins and a couple tension wrenches and a little bit of skill is going to get you a long way. This absolutely deserves to be in any urban survival kit. This works great, especially when you join it with the other cards in the Sere series.